This is grade 12 English class. Today's lesson is from your Flamingo book, lesson number 5. The name of the lesson is Indigo, written by Louis Fisher. In this class, we are going to see the part 1 of this lesson. The author of this lesson, Louis Fisher. His lifetime is 1896 to 1970. He was a prolific writer. Prolific writer means creative writer. He wrote highly praised books on Gandhi and Lenin. He fought in the English army during the First World War. And as a journalist, he reported about the Second World War. He was a Jewish American who was greatly influenced by Gandhiji's use of non-violence and spiritualism as political tools. So Gandhiji used only non-violence and spiritualism. Non-violence na vanmurai illamal. Spiritualism na aanmigam. So Gandhiji used only these as political tools. He observed Gandhiji's work to fight the cause of the voiceless downtrodden Indian who lived under the rule of the indifferent oppressive colonial British rule. ஸோ இந்த க்ரூயல் பிரிட்டிஷ் ரூல் கீழே இருந்த அந்த நலிந்த இந்தியன் மக்களுக்காக அவர் எப்படி ஃபைட் பண்ணார். ஓகே, தட் லூயிஸ் ஃபிஷர் அப்சர்வ்ட். Indigo is one of the many episodes of Gandhiji's long political struggle. ஸோ காந்திஜி நிறைய பொலிட்டிக்கல் ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. அதில் ஒன்று தான் திஸ் இண்டிகோ. Fisher reported these violent events very briefly for the American press. Let's see about the introduction of the lesson. The author Louis Fisher took an interview Mahatma Gandhi at his ashram called Sevagram in the year 1942. So what's the name of the ashram? Sevagram. Do you know where is this Sevagram located? It is located in Gujarat in central India. So actually Louis Fisher visited Mahatma Gandhi at the ashram and took the interview. So Louis Fisher வந்து எங்கே மீட் பண்ணார் மகாத்மா காந்தியை? அவரோட ஆஷ்ரம் called Sevagram. So during the interview, Mahatma Gandhi explained to him about the Indigo movement and all the struggles taken by Gandhiji and other prominent leaders in order to protect the sharecroppers in that place. This lesson is about what all they did to take care of the sharecroppers and how they were able to save them. So do you know who were sharecroppers? Sharecroppers were the farmers. Here the farmers did not own the land. Actually the landowners were Britishers. Here the farmers could grow any crop what they wanted, but 15% of land they should grow indigo. Indigo means it's a kind of plant whose flowers are making some kind of dye. Dye means coloring material. ஸோ ஷேர்க்ராப்பர்ஸ்னால் யார்? ஷேர்க்ராப்பர்ஸுங்கிறது ஃபார்மர்ஸ். ஆனால் ஃபார்மர்ஸ் வந்து லேண்ட் ஓனர்ஸ் கிடையாது. யார் லேண்ட் ஓனர்ஸ்? பிரிட்டிஷர்ஸ். ஸோ இங்கே ஃபார்மர்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணலான்னா அவங்க எந்த க்ராப் வேணால் வந்து தே குட் க்ரோ, பயிரிடுக்கலாம். ஆனால் அந்த லேண்டில் 15% ஆஃப் ஏரியா வந்து அவங்க என்ன பயிரிடணும்? இண்டிகோ அப்படிங்கிற பிளான்ட்டு. ஸோ எதுக்காக அப்படின்னா அந்த பிளான்ட்லேருந்து வரக்கூடிய ஃப்ளார்ஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அதில் தே மேட் சம் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் டை, கலரிங் மெட்டீரியலை வந்து தே மேடு. ஓகே, ஸோ ஷேர்க்ராப்பர்ஸுங்கிறது இதுதான் த ஃபார்மர்ஸ். ஸோ ஹியர் இந்த லூயிஸ் ஃபிஷர் அவர் என்ன பண்ணுறாரு? அந்த மகாத்மா காந்தியை அவரோட ஆஷ்ரமில் ஹி டுக் இன்டர்வியூ. ஸோ அந்த இன்டர்வியூவில் மகாத்மா காந்தி வந்து என்ன எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறாரு அவருக்குன்னா அபவுட் இண்டிகோ மூமெண்ட் அப்படின்னு. அதில் அவர் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா ஆல் த ஸ்ட்ரகிள்ஸ் ஓகே அண்டர்கான் பை காந்திஜி அண்ட் அதர் ப்ராமினன்ட் லீடர்ஸ். ஸோ அவங்களாம் எவ்வளோ ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, எதுக்காக? இன் ஆர்டர் டு ப்ரொடெக்ட் த ஷேர்க்ராப்பர்ஸ். ஸோ இதை பற்றி தான் இந்த லெசன். ஷல் வி கோ டு த லெசன்? Indigo is the story of how Gandhiji decided to urge the departure of the Britishers from our motherland. ஸோ இண்டிகோங்கிற இந்த ஸ்டோரியில் காந்திஜி வந்து எப்படி பிரிட்டிஷர்ஸை நம்ம மதர்லேண்ட்லேருந்து போக வச்சார் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் இந்த ஸ்டோரி. The events and facts in the chapter help you to understand the method of Gandhian activism very clearly. Okay, so this is the story. இதில் இருக்க அந்த ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபேக்ட்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் படிக்கும்போது ஸோ அவருடைய ஆக்டிவிசம் அவரோட மெத்தட் எப்படிங்கிறது கிளியராக நம்ம அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்க முடியும். Let's move on to the lesson. The incident which made Gandhiji to urge British departure, which occurred in 1917. It means the incident that made Gandhiji to get out British from our country. That occurred in 1917. The incident which made Gandhiji to urge, that means to force British departure, which occurred in 1917. So the incident that happened in 1917. Gandhiji attended the annual convention of Indian Congress in 1916. 2,301 delegates and many visitors were present. A poor skinny peasant approached Gandhiji. He wished him to accompany him to Champaran and sort out the problems of miserable peasants. Here miserable peasants means sorrowful, depressed peasants. Here in the year 1916, in the month of December, Mahatma Gandhi went to attend the annual meeting of the Indian National Congress at Lucknow. So where did Mahatma Gandhi go to attend a meeting? Mahatma Gandhi went to attend the annual meeting of the Indian National Congress at Lucknow. So where? At Lucknow. When? In the year 1916, in the month of December. So there were about 2,301 representatives and visitors. So for that meeting, 2,301 representatives and visitors were present. Gandhiji recalled that a small farmer named Rajkumar Shukla came to him, who was poor and thin. A poor skinny peasant. He was a small farmer named Rajkumar Shukla. Peasant means farmer. He was very poor and skinny. Skinny means very thin. He was very thin and poor. And this Rajkumar Shukla wished him, that means wished Gandhiji, to accompany him to Champaran. So he requested Gandhiji to visit Champaran. So Champaran, it is a place in the foothills of the Himalaya mountain range near the kingdom of Nepal. So where did this Rajkumar Shukla lived? He lived in Champaran. It is a place located in the foothills of the Himalayan mountain range. It's near the kingdom of Nepal. So what did this poor skinny peasant wished? He wished Gandhiji to accompany him to Champaran. For what he wanted Gandhiji to accompany him? To sort out the problems of miserable peasants. Here he wanted Gandhiji to find out the solution for the problems of miserable peasants, miserable, sorrowful, so depressed peasants. So what was the problem of the miserable peasants? Let's see. The pitiful story of the Champaran peasants. Let's see what's the miserable condition of the Champaran peasants. The peasant Rajkumar Shukla recounted the miseries of Champaran. And he told landlord system in Bihar, and he wanted Gandhiji to do something. Rajkumar Shukla told Gandhiji that he was a sharecropper. Who is a sharecropper? A sharecropper is a farmer who gives a part of the crop as rent to the owner of that piece of land that he cultivates. So in the beginning itself I have told you who were sharecroppers. Sharecroppers were the farmers. They did not own the land. The landowners were Britishers. Here, these sharecroppers, they could grow any crop what they wanted, but 15% of land area they should grow only indigo. Okay, indigo, it's a type of plant. From that flowers, they made a dye, a coloring material. So after harvesting, they should give that crop to the landowners. Okay, as a part, as a rent, they should give the crop. So Rajkumar Shukla told Gandhiji that was because of an old agreement. So this happened because of an old agreement. Many of the peasants in Champaran were sharecroppers because of this old agreement. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. So he had come to meet Gandhiji on someone's suggestion. Someone had told him to speak to Gandhi. So if you speak to Gandhi, you could get help. So Rajkumar Shukla had come there to meet Gandhi, and he was very determined. Rajkumar Shukla even though he was an illiterate, he was very determined to find a solution for the sharecroppers. These sharecroppers were facing hardships, facing difficulties due to this agreement. So he sought Gandhiji's help. Okay. So now I think you can understand who was Rajkumar Shukla and why he had come there to meet Gandhiji. So Rajkumar Shukla was one of the sharecroppers, a small farmer, poor and skinny, and he told him because of an old agreement, many of the peasants in Champaran were sharecroppers. He was one of them, and sharecroppers, they were facing difficulties because of this agreement. So he sought Gandhiji's help. Rajkumar's tenacity. Tenacity means determination. Gandhiji had to visit Kanpur and a few other places. Shukla patiently followed him everywhere. He kept urging Gandhiji to visit Champaran. Finally, Gandhiji agreed to accompany him to Champaran immediately after his Calcutta visit. Let's see how determined this Rajkumar Shukla was. After hearing his problem, Gandhiji told him that he had to visit Kanpur and some other parts of India due to prayer appointments. So Gandhiji had already appointments for what? To visit Kanpur and some other parts of India. Shukla went with him everywhere. So wherever Gandhiji went, Shukla also went with him. After this, Gandhiji returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. So after visiting Kanpur and some parts of India, Gandhiji returned to his ashram. Where was his ashram? Near Ahmedabad. What's the name of his ashram? Shevagram. Okay. So Shukla was always there with him for several weeks. So in ashram also, Shukla was always with Gandhiji for several weeks. And there he was begging him to fix a date to visit Champaran. So he begged him to fix a date for what? To visit Champaran. So as Gandhiji was impressed with the determination of the peasant, he said that he would be visiting Calcutta after few months, and there Shukla should meet him. Okay. So Gandhiji was impressed with the determination of the peasant. So what's the determination? Here this peasant Rajkumar Shukla, he was patiently waiting for Gandhiji for several weeks. Wherever Gandhiji went, he went, and he was always there with him. And patiently he was waiting there for getting to fix a date. Okay, for getting a date to visit Champaran. Then Gandhiji was impressed with this determination. So he told him that he would be visiting Calcutta after a few months. There he could meet him. So on the day that had been fixed. So there were in Calcutta. So the day to visit Champaran had been fixed. Shukla was eagerly waiting for Gandhiji. Shukla was very happy for getting a date, and he was eagerly waiting for Gandhiji. So after finishing his work, after his work getting over, Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla, they both took a train to Patna. Visit to Rajendra Prasad's house, a lawyer of Patna. Later became the president of Congress Party and of India. He couldn't be contacted since he was out of town. Shukla and Gandhiji accommodated for the night. Now Rajkumar Shukla and Gandhiji came to Patna. There they went to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became the president of India. So where did they come? They came to the house of a lawyer. What's the name of the lawyer? Rajendra Prasad. When they reached there, he was not at home. So who was not at home? Rajendra Prasad was not at home when Rajkumar Shukla and Gandhiji when they reached there. But the servants allowed both of them to stay at the grounds because they knew Shukla. So as Rajendra Prasad was not at home, their servants, they did not allow them to come inside. They told them to stay at the grounds. Because in those days, untouchability prevailed. So, discrimination of upper and lower caste. They all knew Shukla was a poor farmer. They all knew him because Shukla used to visit their master in helping indigo sharecroppers. Shukla usually came to meet Rajendra Prasad for getting help in indigo sharecroppers' problem. So these servants, they all knew him, and they did not allow Gandhiji to draw water from their well. So as Gandhiji went with Shukla, they thought Gandhiji also was an untouchable. So they did not allow Gandhiji to draw water from their well, and they thought that he would pollute the entire water source if he would allow them to take water. Okay, so now Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla came to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad. Rajendra Prasad was not at home. So the servants of him, they did not allow Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla to come inside. They told them to stay at the grounds as Shukla was very poor farmer. They all knew him because Shukla usually came to meet Rajendra Prasad for getting help in indigo sharecroppers' problem. As Gandhiji went with Shukla, they thought Gandhiji was also an untouchable. They did not allow him to draw water from their well, and they thought he would pollute the entire water source. At Muzaffarpur, more information to be gathered. A telegram was sent to Professor J.B. Kripalani of the Arts College in Muzaffarpur. Gandhiji accommodated for 2 days at a government school teacher, Professor Malkani's house. Due to the fear of Britishers, very few would show such unusual gesture. As Shukla was not able to provide Gandhiji with adequate information, he decided to go to Muzaffarpur, which was on the way to Champaran, to obtain the complete information. Here Shukla was not able to give Gandhiji with enough information about the problems of Champaran. So Gandhiji decided to go to Muzaffarpur. Okay, so why Gandhiji decided to go to Muzaffarpur? Shukla was not able to give enough information about the problems of Champaran. So he decided. Why he decided to go to Muzaffarpur? It was because it was on the way to Champaran. So if he went there, he could get the complete information. So he decided to go to Muzaffarpur. He sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kripalani, who was a teacher at Arts College in Muzaffarpur. So he sent a telegram. In those days, a telegram was the fastest means of communication. So he sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kripalani. He was a teacher at Arts College in Muzaffarpur. Gandhiji had seen him at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. So already Gandhiji had seen Kripalani at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. Gandhiji took a train to Muzaffarpur that arrived at midnight on 15th April 1917. So, as he decided, as his plan, Gandhiji he took a train to Muzaffarpur. Train arrived on 15th April 1917 at midnight. At midnight, Gandhiji reached the station, Muzaffarpur station. Okay. Kripalani was already waiting there with his students. As he was a teacher, along with his students, they were waiting for Gandhiji's arrival. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days at Professor Malkani's home, who was a teacher in a government school. So there Gandhiji, he stayed there for 2 days. Where did he stay? He stayed there at Professor Malkani's home. Malkani, he was also a teacher in government school. Even though he was a teacher in government school, he called as professor. According to Gandhiji, it was a remarkable thing that a government professor was entertaining him, because in those days people in small localities were afraid of supporting those who supported home rule. So for Gandhiji, it was a remarkable thing. So what's a remarkable thing? So here Gandhiji stayed in a government school teacher as house. Okay, so government school teacher na under British rule. Okay, British government's rule la வேலை செய்கிற government teacher. So in those days, people in small localities, இந்த முசாஃபர்பூருங்கிறது it's a small locality. So அங்கே people வந்து they were afraid of supporting the person who supported home rule. So here who supported home rule? Gandhiji. So Gandhiji, he wanted the British to get out of our country. So he supported home rule. So home rule support பண்ணுற காந்திஜியை வந்து அவர் வீட்டில் ஸ்டே பண்ணுறதுக்கு he accepted. That was a remarkable thing for Gandhiji. A ray of hope among Champaran peasants. Champaran peasantsகுள்ளார ஒரு நம்பிக்கை வளர்ந்தது. Peasants came rushing to Muzaffarpur. Lawyers briefed Gandhiji. They mentioned about what they charged. Gandhiji scolded them for collecting high fees. The news of Gandhiji's arrival and the purpose of his mission spread through Muzaffarpur and Champaran very fast. The news of Gandhiji's arrival. So where did Gandhiji arrive? Gandhiji arrived to Muzaffarpur. And the purpose of his mission. What's his mission? What's Gandhiji's mission? To get rid of the problems of Champaran peasants. So Gandhiji's arrival and his mission. So this news spread through Muzaffarpur and Champaran very fast. So on hearing this, sharecroppers started to visit him. They were very happy that someone, a person named Mahatma Gandhiji, he came to Muzaffarpur for supporting them. Okay, so he came there to get rid of their problems. So sharecroppers started to visit him. Muzaffarpur lawyers informed Gandhiji about the whole situation as they represented various peasants in the court. Not only sharecroppers, Muzaffarpur lawyers also, they met Gandhiji. They informed him about the whole situation. So how did the lawyers knew about their situation? Because they attended various peasants in the court. They took cases of various peasants in the court. So they explained him about their cases and the fee that they charged them. So not only about their cases, about the fees, okay, that they charged them. So Gandhiji scolded the lawyers for charging such high fee from the poor sharecroppers. So Gandhiji scolded the lawyers for getting that much of fees from the poor sharecroppers. So sharecroppers already they were very poor. So Gandhiji scolded them. So here the news of Gandhiji's arrival and the purpose of his mission, it spread through Muzaffarpur and Champaran. Then sharecroppers started to visit him. Through Muzaffarpur lawyers, Gandhiji came to know about the situation because they told him about the cases they took in the court, and also they told him about the fee they charged. So Gandhiji scolded the lawyers for getting such high fee from the poor sharecroppers. Gandhiji's conclusion. He decided to change the line of action. Fear-stricken peasants got little help from courts, needed to be freed from fear. He decided that it was useless to go to the courts as the judiciary was not doing anything good for the peasants. So Gandhiji came to a conclusion. So what's the conclusion? It was useless to go to the courts. கோர்ட்டுக்கு போகிறது useless. Why? Because the judiciary was not doing anything good for the peasants. So judiciaryனால எந்த நன்மையும் கிடையாது. He said that as long as the peasants were suppressed and full of fear, it was useless to visit the courts. And Gandhiji, he told that the peasants were in the tyrant hands of British and they were full of fear. So as long as the peasants were suppressed and full of fear, அவங்க பெசன்ஸ் வந்து இந்த பயத்துலேயும் அடிமைத்தனத்துலேயும் இருக்க வர it was useless to visit the courts. He wanted to set them free from fear. The first and foremost thing what Gandhiji wanted was he wanted the peasants to come out of fear. Okay, so what's Gandhiji's conclusion? It was useless to go to the courts as the judiciary was not doing anything good for the peasants. So he said that the peasants were suppressed and full of fear. So he wanted them to come out of fear. First, he wanted to take them out of fear. Unjust agreement. Large estates owned by Englishmen. They compelled Indian tenants to grow indigo in 15% land. Farmers deprived of the indigo harvest. That means they compelled. Entire production charged as rent. Let's see what's an unfair deal happened. Most of the cultivable land in the Champaran district was owned by Englishmen. So Champaran district irukka most of the cultivable land யாருக்கு சொந்தமா இருந்ததுன்னா Englishmen. Okay, they had divided them into various estates. So these Englishmen, they had divided them into various property. The peasants were the occupants of these land. Peasants la only they were tenants. Englishmen forced the peasants to cultivate indigo on 15% of their land and to give the crop to them as rent. So here what happened? Englishmen, British people, they forced the peasants. So what did they force? To cultivate indigo on 15% of their land. Indigoங்கிற plant they had to cultivate 15% of their land. அவங்க அந்த லேண்டில் 15% அவங்க என்ன கல்டிவேட் பண்ணணும்னா இண்டிகோங்கிற plant. Okay, and to give the crop to them as rent. So harvest பண்ண உடனே அந்த crop வந்து as a rent-ஆக வந்து they had to give. So all this was done through a long-term agreement. So this is the unfair deal. Okay, so what's this? Most of the cultivable land in the Champaran district was owned by Englishmen and the peasants were only tenants. So what happened? These Britishers, they forced the peasants to cultivate on the indigo on 15% of their land and they had to give the crop as rent. So all this was done through a long-term agreement. Sequence of German synthetic indigo. The landlords charged compensation for releasing peasants from 15% arrangement. Some peasants signed the agreement willingly. Some engaged lawyers to resist it. Soon news of synthetic indigo reached the peasants. They demand their money back. While all this was going on, the landlords came to know about the chemical indigo being prepared in Germany. It was a blue color dye made with chemicals. While all this was going on, that means as per the long-term agreement, it was going on. The landlords came to know. What they came to know? They came to know about the preparation of chemical indigo in Germany. Germany, chemical indigo they were preparing. Chemical indigo, it's a blue color dye made with chemicals. So chemicals nala it was being prepared, blue color dye. So already they get natural dye. Okay, but now they were getting chemical indigo. Okay, they started demanding money from the poor peasants in order to cancel their agreements, as they no longer required the indigo plantations. Here now they would get chemical indigo in a cheap rate. So they need not want to cultivate indigo hereafter. Okay. So they started demanding money from the poor peasants in order to cancel their agreements. So agreement, what's the agreement? And the 15% land indigo plant cultivate பண்ணணும்னு. Now they did not want to cultivate. So அந்த அக்ரிமெண்ட்டை கேன்சல் பண்ணணும்னா என்ன பண்ணணும்? புவர் பெசன்ஸ் they had to pay money for compensation for cancelling their agreements. Okay. Now Englishmen, they started demanding money from the poor peasants in order to cancel their agreements. The sharecropping system was very annoying. So many of the peasants paid for the cancellation of the agreements. The sharecropping arrangement was very irritating to the peasants. So many of the peasants, they willingly they signed and they paid for the cancellation of the agreements. But as the news about synthetic indigo spread and reached the uneducated peasants, they started demanding their money back. Now the news about synthetic indigo, it spread among the peasants. So they started demanding their money back. So synthetic indigo bati, so now only the peasants came to know. So they started demanding their money back. For compensation they paid, no, they started demanding their money back. Gandhiji's interference. Gandhiji arrived at Champaran. He asked the secretary of the British Landlords Association for details. The secretary refused to give information to an outsider. Gandhiji claimed that he was not an outsider. When Gandhiji arrived at Champaran, he decided to gather the facts. Before coming to Champaran, he got all the details of Champaran peasants' problem. Now he decided to gather the facts. For this, he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. So landlordக்குன்னு ஒரு அசோசியேஷன் இருக்கும் இல்லையா? So Gandhiji visited the secretary of British Landlords Association. This secretary did not answer him because he could not give any information to an outsider. So what the secretary did, he did not give any information to Gandhiji because he told him that he was an outsider. So what Gandhiji did, he claimed that he was not an outsider. He was an Indian citizen. For an Indian citizen, he had all the rights to go anywhere inside the country. So he wanted him to give all the details. British official, Commissioner of Tirhut. The commissioner did not cooperate. He tried to bully Gandhiji. He advised him to leave Tirhut. So what happened? When he visited the secretary of British Landlords Association, he did not give any information. So now he went to the commissioner of Tirhut division. Where did he go? He went to the commissioner of Tirhut division. So why did he go there? Because Champaran district was under Tirhut division. So he went to the commissioner of that division. The commissioner not only threatened Gandhiji but also suggested him to leave Tirhut immediately. So what the secretary did there, he did not give any information. Here the commissioner, he threatened Gandhiji. Not only threatened but also he advised him to leave Tirhut immediately. So here Gandhiji did not get the fact, any information. Okay. So he went to the commissioner of Tirhut division to get the fact, but this commissioner threatened Gandhiji and also advised him to leave Tirhut immediately. Before getting into the next slide, let's recall from the beginning. Here the author Louis Fisher explained about his first interaction, that means his first meeting with Mahatma Gandhi. He said that he met him in 1942 at his ashram called Sevagram. It was located in central India. Gandhiji explained his struggle against the British that was taken place in the year 1917. He said that in the month of December in the year 1916, Mahatma Gandhiji went to attend the annual meeting of the National Congress at Lucknow. So for that meeting, there were 2,301 representatives and visitors. They were present. So he recalled a small farmer named Rajkumar Shukla came to him, and he was very poor and thin. What's the name of the small farmer? Rajkumar Shukla. Whom did he meet? Rajkumar Shukla met Gandhiji. So this small farmer requested Gandhiji to visit Champaran. Champaran, it was a place where this small farmer lived. It is located in the foothills of the Himalayan mountain range. Okay. Then this Rajkumar Shukla told Gandhiji that he was a sharecropper, and in Champaran many of the peasants were sharecroppers. Okay, he was one among the sharecroppers, and he had come to meet Gandhiji on someone's suggestion to find a solution for the sharecroppers who are facing hardships, that means difficulties, due to an old agreement. Okay, what's that old agreement? This sharecroppers, they had to give a part of the crop as rent to the owner of that piece of land that they cultivated. Okay, so that's the old agreement. Because of this old agreement, many of the peasants, they were facing hardships. So he met Gandhiji and he wanted him to visit Champaran to find a solution. But Gandhiji had already some appointments to visit Kanpur and some parts of India. So Shukla also went with Gandhiji wherever he went. So after visiting those places, Gandhiji returned to his ashram, and in ashram also Shukla was with him for several weeks, and he was begging him to fix a date to visit Champaran. So here Gandhiji was very much impressed by the determination of the peasant, and Gandhiji told him that he would be visiting Calcutta after few months, and there he could meet him. So on that day, the date had been fixed. That means Gandhiji accepted and he gave a date to visit Champaran. So Shukla was very happy and he was waiting for Gandhiji very eagerly. Then both of them, they took a train to Patna. Now they came to Patna. There they went to the house of a lawyer. The name of the lawyer is Rajendra Prasad. So what's the name of the lawyer? Rajendra Prasad. Later this lawyer became the president of India. Who? Rajendra Prasad. Okay. When Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla went Rajendra Prasad's home, he was not at home. But the servants, they did not allow Gandhiji to come inside. Okay. They told him to stand outside the house. That means to stay at the grounds. Because in those days untouchability prevailed. That means the discrimination of upper and lower caste. They knew Shukla, he was a poor peasant. They already knew him because Shukla used to visit Rajendra Prasad for getting help in indigo sharecroppers problem. So not only he told them to stay at the grounds, these servants, they did not allow Gandhiji to draw water from their well because they thought Gandhiji was also an untouchable, and they did not want to pollute the entire water source. They thought if Gandhiji would draw water, the entire water source would be polluted. Okay. After coming to Patna, where did they go? They went to a lawyer's house. What's the name of the lawyer? Rajendra Prasad. So there they did not meet Rajendra Prasad because he was not at home. Gandhiji did not get adequate information about the sharecroppers' problem. Shukla was not able to provide enough information. So Gandhiji decided to go to Muzaffarpur, where where did he want to go? Did he decided to go? He decided to go to Muzaffarpur. Why he wanted to go to Muzaffarpur? Because Muzaffarpur was on the way to Champaran. So he thought that if he would go, he would get the complete information. Then Gandhiji sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kriplani, who was a teacher at Arts College in Muzaffarpur. So, to whom did Gandhiji send a telegram? To the to a professor named J.B. Kriplani. Who was J.B. Kriplani? He was a teacher at Arts College in Muzaffarpur. And then, how did Gandhiji know J.B. Kriplani? Gandhiji had seen him at Tagus Shantiniketan school. So, already Gandhiji had seen him. So, he sent a telegram to J.B. Kriplani. Then Gandhiji took a train to Muzaffarpur and he arrived at midnight on 15th April 1917. So, when did he arrive to Muzaffarpur? On 15th April 1917. So, in the railway station, Kriplani and his students, they were waiting for Gandhiji's arrival. So, there in Muzaffarpur, Gandhiji stayed for 2 days. So, where did he stay? At Professor Malkani's home. So, who's that Professor Malkani? He was a teacher in government school. Okay. So, now according to Gandhi, it was a remarkable thing for why he thought it was a remarkable thing means a government professor, a government employee who was working under British rule. He was entertaining him. He accepted Gandhiji to stay in his house for 2 days, because in those days people in small localities like Muzaffarpur, people they were afraid of supporting people who supported home rule. Here who supported home rule? Gandhiji. Okay. So Gandhiji said that it was a remarkable thing. And then now the news of his arrival and the purpose of his mission, why he came there. So all this news spread through Muzaffarpur and Champaran very fast. Now sharecroppers, they started to visit because Gandhiji came there for helping them. So they started to visit him. And Gandhiji met Muzaffarpur lawyers also. Okay. So these lawyers, they explained him about the whole situation, because they attended some cases of peasants. They explained about the cases and they said about the fee that they charge. So Gandhi scolded them for getting such high fee from the sharecroppers. Then after that, Gandhiji came to a conclusion that it was useless to go to the courts, because that judiciary was not doing anything good for the peasants. So he wanted, first of all, Gandhiji wanted to take out the fear from the minds of peasants. Okay, the first and foremost thing what he wanted was to set them free from fear. Then he came to know that most of the cultivable land in Champaran district was owned by Englishmen and the peasants were only tenants. Then these Englishmen forced the peasants to cultivate indigo on 15% of their land, and they had to give the crop as rent. And this was done through a long-term agreement. So while this was going on, these landlords to know about the chemical indigo being prepared in Germany. So this chemical indigo, it was a blue color dye made with chemicals. So what did the landlords come to know about chemical indigo? So where it was being prepared in Germany. So what's that chemical indigo? It was a blue color dye made with chemicals. Here then the indigo plantations were not necessary. So they did not cultivate indigo. So these landlords started demanding money from the poor peasants in order to cancel their agreements. So for compensation, these poor peasants, they had to pay money for the landlords. So already this sharecropping system was very annoying for them. So many of the peasants, they agreed to pay money, okay, for the cancellation of the agreements. And then after that, the news about this synthetic indigo, that chemical indigo, this news spread and it reached the uneducated peasants. Now only they came to know about the chemical indigo. So they started, poor peasants, they started demanding their money back. So now Gandhiji arrived at Champaran. So he decided to gather the facts. So he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. So where did Gandhiji visit to gather the fact? He visited the secretary of British Landlords Association. This secretary, he did not answer him because he told Gandhiji was an outsider. So he could not give any information. Okay, so Gandhiji told him that he was not an outsider. For an Indian citizen, it was his rights to go anywhere inside the country. So after this, Gandhiji went to the commissioner of Tirur division, Tirhat division. He did not get any facts from the secretary of British Landlords Association. So he went to the commissioner of Tirhat division because this Champaran district was under Tirhat division. There, the commissioner, he threatened Gandhiji. Not only threatened, he also advised him to leave Tirhat immediately. Okay. So Gandhiji tried to gather the facts, but he couldn't get any details from the secretary of British Landlords Association and also from the commissioner. He didn't get any information. I have completed the part 1 of the lesson. We will see the part 2 of the lesson in the next class. Thank you.